Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of New Comic Wednesday. I am Casey. If you were expecting to see somebody else, you probably expect to see Amber. I am Amber's fill-in for this week as well. This week we have three amazing releases. Our first is going to be Grimm Myth and Legends Quarterly, written by Jenna Lynn Wright, and this issue is all about Jasmine. Next, we'll have GFT number 60, written by Dave Franchini, who is backstage. And we'll also have Van Helsing Bloodborne, also written by Pat Chan, who is also backstage. So we have two really exciting interviews today as well. For Grimm Myth and Legend Quarterly Jasmine, Jenna could not be here today. She heard I was hosting, not Amber, and was like, I don't want to be here. I'm kidding. She definitely did not say that. But you all know how much Amber and Jenna love each other. So if you ever want to check out a beautiful, beautiful loving duo, watch any of the Jenna Amber interviews. But I will start with the summary. So the war raging in the shadows of the Grimm universe leaves no one unaffected, including ex-genie and fire dagger-wielding heroine Jasmine. She was on the front lines of the initial attack and hasn't been seen since that first strike. Lost and separated from her friends, she finds herself inside, back in the last place she ever wanted to be, her lamp. Now, back in a world that is all too familiar, Jasmine must embark on an epic mystical journey to escape the prison she finds herself in. But what secrets will she uncover about her past along the way? And what answers do they hold for her future and the future of Grimm Universe? Find out in this can't-miss, oversized, one-shot story for the ages. 72 pages of world-bending action. And I will show you the covers. So these are cover A, B, and C in order. I have to give it to cover C. As many of you may know, I am a huge Ivan Tao fan. I'm obsessed with everything that he puts out. And I think this is such a cool interpretation of Jasmine. I just love the purple that he does. It's such a beautiful color. So that would be my personal favorite, but A and B are also great. B is, of course, another beautiful action shot, and A is just very clean. It looks like it should be on a poster, so I'm definitely a big fan of all of these covers. And if you didn't catch on Monday, me and Noah have Coffee with Casey and Noah, usually on Mondays, sometimes on Tuesdays. This week will be on a Tuesday due to the holiday. But we actually talked about Jasmine, Crown of Kings, the graphic novel. So it was super cool going from Crown of Kings into the Myth and Legends Quarterly. I talked a little bit with Noah about how I thought Crown of Kings would be more of an origin story, and it wasn't. It kind of just jumped right into it. But I felt like Myth and Legends actually did a really good job with explaining her origin and kind of, being able to picture it and then jumping right into the action. It's definitely a really good read. It's very fast paced. Anyone who's a big fan of Jasmine, I know we have a Jasmine super fan, Neil. He watches a lot of Coffee with Casey and Noah. So it's absolutely the month of Jasmine. We have Casey and Noah talking about Jasmine graphic novel. We've got a Jasmine release that's all about Jasmine. And if you check on our YouTube or any of our streaming platforms, we have our Everything Zen podcast, which is also all about Jasmine. So May, Jasmine's month. If you don't know the character, you definitely should. She has an absolutely amazing redemption arc. It's everything I've read of hers I've really enjoyed. So if you don't know Jasmine, get to know her this month. It's the perfect time to. And if you already love Jasmine, then you're all set. I don't know who I want to bring on first, Pat or Dave. Can somebody give me a hands up? No? Okay, we're going with Pat. All right. Pat, welcome to the show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Dave just gave me a... all right, I'm bringing Pat on.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for today. This is I'll save my cover pick for later, but one of these covers is, to me, the best Van Helsing cover ever printed.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about, and it's probably my favorite too. So I'm going to pull them up.
Let's do it.
Cover A, B, and C. What do you think?
All right, listen. All the covers are cool. Cover A, it has a very cool effect. It's a interesting perspective. Cover B, sick monster. Now, cover C is the best Van Helsing image ever drawn.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a very strong statement coming from you.
Yeah. I mean, Raven, Ralph, and I and Joe conceived of her for Unleashed. I've been with her since the beginning. I've seen every artist that has drawn her. I've seen an iteration. That, to me, I saw it and I was like, wow, unreal. It's the best one. It is the best one. Yeah.
So that is actually Igor Lomov. And he is a newer, he's pretty much brand new artist of ours. He just did a Sky cover. It's not out yet, but we've been using it as a promotional image for AwesomeCon, which I can actually bring up.
Oh, hey, guess what? I also was part of a Sky storyline. I wrote her in Grimm Fairy Tales. My run was issue 101 to 125. And she was the star of that. That is the best Sky image ever drawn.
Wow. Igor, you have two new fans.
The artist is incredible. Yeah.
He really is.
Igor, you're killing it.
I feel like his style is so video game-esque too. Like I feel like I don't know which title I'm thinking of specifically, but I don't know. I really love it. And if you zoom in on a lot of his stuff, like even the like his clothes are so detailed. I love it so much.
It's really good. It's a cool mixture of painterly, digital, and he just gets the core of the character down very well, and the atmosphere is just great.
That he also has just such a distinct style himself. I think I really appreciate too.
100% too. It's very stylized to his, but still recognizable as the character. When I saw that, I was able to look back and see a few other pieces that he'd done. I believe he did the kind of like golden warm cover that was for the previous Van Helsing issue. And yeah, he's a killer. Yeah.
Well, now that we've fangirled enough about Igor, Van Helsing, Bloodborne, amazing.
Thank you.
This is all favorites today. This might be my favorite single issue Van Helsing I've read yet. Actually, I really enjoyed it. I really did. I guess I can read the summary super quick, even though you're already on. But okay, so Liesl Van Helsing has always been driven by two things: science and hunting vampires. Although she inherited both interests from her father, one is a calling, while the other is her passion. When the supernatural and scientific parts of her life collide to take a twisted turn, Liesl is caught in the middle and must deal with the results of a failed but deadly experiment. Who or what is Siphon? What does it want? And most importantly, can Liesl stop this mysterious new creature before it gets out into the world? Don't miss this bloody next chapter in Liesl Van Helsing's life, 32 pages. So what my favorite part was the blend of science and the science experiment gone wrong. I thought that it was definitely super gruesome, and it was just fun though. Like, it was scary, but I had so much fun reading it. Did you have fun writing it?
I did, yeah. And it was it was a couple of new things for me too. I believe that Ralph Tedesco created this Igor character for Van Helsing versus Robin Hood, which was soon after my first run on Van Helsing had ended. So I hadn't really gotten the chance to write Alex Igor. So this was my first time with the character, and it was in a very fun setting. The catacombs. That was Dave and Dave. Chose the catacombs for the big set piece here, and yeah, it was very interesting too because last time you and I spoke about how Van Helsing is kind of going through something that's emotional for her as she discovers the dark side of her father's past experience. experiments, that is. So this time she's able to take what she has learned and the hurt from that and see someone in modern times doing that and having an experiment gone wrong, and that she's able to sort of step outside of her own pain and see, kind of see her father and his error and his humanity through her friend making a similar mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember distinctly asking you the last time you and I were on NCW. I was like, "Oh, this Van Helsing!" Like, it was such a emotional episode that it was very dark and grim, and it was very, very good. But this did have a different feel. It had, even though it was dark, it was gruesome, it was bloody. It had a more lighthearted, fun feel as a reader, I guess.
Yeah.
So
and for me, it's a mixture of doing both, because the emotional side here is that the drama and loss isn't Liesl Van Helsing's, it's Igor. So she's able to sort of see it from a removed perspective and have a commentary on it that isn't like that. She isn't devastated by this issue, but she sees that her friend is, and she's able to help to that. But on the horror side of things, it is essentially a hunt in one issue, which is what's really cool about these one shots, is that in the past, and there's great things about both. In the past, we could have done this one shot as a 5-issue series, and it could have been, issue 5 would have been that the second half of number 1 here, and would have been that hunt in the catacombs. But now we get to do that in one single oversized issue and really, encapsulate it and strip it to its bare bones and really, enjoy it as a single, really fast-paced one-off story that we can enjoy it and then move on from.
Do you write a lot of these like sci-fi blends, or is this kind of your first or one of first?
Yeah, you know what? It's I'd say that the core of this kind of comes from Van Helsing versus Frankenstein. That was the one where, the first 2 series, Van Helsing had her villain. It was Dracula, and that's her classic villain. We decided then to have her face the classic monsters. It would be Frankenstein, and then the Mummy. And Frankenstein, it called for her to get more into the sci-fi of it all. And this whole arc, what Dave and I are doing is really, getting that sci-fi element and mixing with the horror and having that as the ongoing motif. It's all going to be sci-fi horror. And because she on top of being a vampire hunter, she is a genius inventor. And that's the thing that we're going to really double down on and see how her father's role doing that, and how her role of trying to essentially, hunt, but also invent as she goes along and create more interesting, more effective, and even more empathetic ways to hunt,
Interesting. I know I had one more question. And it just completely.
Oh, it's all good.
I really, again, I really love this issue.
Nice.
It was super cool. I guess, what do you see Van Helsing doing next? Can you give us a little spoiler, or?
Yeah, I know exactly what she's doing next, and it's in preview, so I can say the next issue is Van Helsing from the Depths, and it's going to be a sea creature hunt. And the sci-fi element is there. It's going to follow up on threads from both this issue and the previous issue, which is Shattered Soul. In that issue, she created a way to find these hybrids, these mixture of human and creature that her father was in some ways the originator of. And she's definitely going to be following up on some of those threads. And next issue, I'd say if you enjoyed this and found this fun, this issue is the vibe going forward. We started the hybrid story with Shattered Soul, and that was, a more devastating and tragic issue, because it was both from the perspective of Liesl, who was fresh off of ending her relationship with Rick, and this creature who had a very warped perspective of who he was. It was that dual perspective that made for a pretty sad dichotomy there. But this mode of these fun one-off hunts that do have an emotional element but are fun sci-fi horror, that is the mode going forward for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. I remember what I was gonna say. I wanted to bring up the one part right at the beginning where the cells are multiplying and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is good, right? And I'm like, I know nothing about science. I did not do well in biology, but this is not good. I can tell.
Yeah, it's it's I too, science is not my strong suit, so my sci-fi is heavy on the fi. Uh, so hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's fun.
It definitely was. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on last minute. I emailed Pat like literally Monday. I was like, can you come on?
No, anytime. I greatly enjoy doing the show.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for another great episode, another great issue. Hopefully I will see you again for maybe another Van Helsing. But yeah, thank you. Thank you as always, Pat.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. So thank you again to Pat. Oh, wait, I completely forgot. Can I bring Pat on again? Okay, I completely forgot. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was Pat's birthday yesterday, so definitely make sure you give a warm Zenescope happy birthday.
Thank you very much. It was very nice of you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Awesome. Thanks again, Pat. Happy belated. I hope you had a great week. Amazing work by him, amazing work by Igor and all the other artists. Definitely check out Van Helsing Bloodborne. Super, super fun, but still dark and gruesome Van Helsing issue. All right, I guess. And next we will bring on Dave if he's ready to talk about Grimm. Yes, he's ready. Okay. Actually, I'll read the synopsis and do the covers first, because if you all know, Dave refuses to pick a cover. Pat will play along. He'll pick the cover. He'll say it's his favorite cover of all time. Dave loves them all. Every week he loves them all. All right. So, Grimm Fairy Tales, Volume 2, number 60. Sky Mathers is far away from the home she knows and she faces surrounding her even less friendly in the cold and mechanical steampunk world of Oz she finds herself in. Trapped within a universe that runs on steam power, whose inhabitants feed off the blood of others, Sky and her allies must find a way to set things right here, even if it means they might never make it back to the universe they call home. All right, and I will pick out the covers. I did 2 and 2 for this one. I'm trying to combine the images. Some people like it, some people don't. So this is cover A and B. And this is cover C and D. And I can honestly say I had such a hard time picking out covers this week. So I grabbed one of each. Each of these are super cool. I really, really love cover B. I usually don't go for the action shots, but something about this one is just, I don't know, super well done. Every time Sky has the pink of her sword, I think our colorists do such a perfect job of getting that color down. So I've been really attracted to all the pink sword covers as well. So I think I picked up another one of those. And then of course C and D are just amazing. They're always beautiful. Yeah, I can't choose. So I'm pulling a Dave. I can't choose. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint. All right. I'll bring on Dave now. Hi, Dave.
Strange. You couldn't pick a cover.
I know. I really thought I'd pick one by the time it came around. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's what I do every time new covers come in. I'm like, this is awesome, and then this is awesome, and
I get it now. I do.
Can't win. And then happy birthday, Pat. But then also too, I forgot if he's still back there. I can't tell, but
he's not. But
I got more Igor covers. One of them isn't out yet.
Wait, let me. Wow. I have not seen the Robin yet, so this is definitely
the one in the middle
preview.
It doesn't even go to previews for another month.
I have a question. I don't know if this is insider information, but I vaguely thought that Bloodborne, the cover C that we love so much, the the Igor one, I thought that was going to come out on a different issue, and then it came out here. Did that get changed at one point, or am I just losing my mind?
No, it was always on that one. I hope.
Okay.
I hope we didn't put it on the wrong book.
No, I thought it was, I don't know. I remember posting it on social media like really early, and I was like, where is it? Because I loved it so much. So maybe I'm just going crazy.
We had a different name for Bloodborne though. Originally we called it Van Helsing Siphon. And that's what that was, that old the text you read earlier. That was the old one. I wrote it in the comments. I was like, oh,
I saw.
Yeah, so that was the older name of it. So it might have been called Van Helsing Siphon before it turned into Bloodborne.
Gotcha.
That might be where it got confused. Now I can't even find it in my sheets. But no, we're good.
That actually, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so A, B, C, D, all favorite covers.
Of course. They're all the best.
It's totally understandable. GFT. So definitely recommend reading 59 before you read 60, because something
and 1
very
58 too.
That too. But there's, at the end of 59, somebody very important makes their appearance, and she joins the big group. And what I pick up from Grimm Fairy Tales is Volume 2 specifically is I feel like this is such a fun series for longtime readers, because so many characters that are familiar faces kind of pop in and out, and I really enjoy that. But how do you as a writer keep up with it?
You mean like all the different like alternate versions of them?
Yes.
No. I mean it's easy because I'm like, all right, I'm deciding when they're showing up, when they're gonna come in, what they're gonna be doing. And that's kind of fun too, because like some of the characters are actually characters that Pat wrote back with Grimm Fairy Tales Steampunk like a while ago, like I forget, like maybe 2014, 15, something like that. I forget when it was, but so it was cool, like kind of like bringing some of those characters back, and like this series has been like just kind of being able to hopefully get new readers, but also play with the old time readers and kind of give them different views on the characters they know and love. And then, I mean, it's pretty cool that way. And then the character that comes back was definitely someone we've seen before, but never, we haven't seen her since in a while. And we haven't seen a version of her like this in a while. We got some crazy stuff coming up before this arc ends. And then we're already planning out the next big arc, which is going to be even crazier than this one.
Does it have a title yet? Can I ask?
I can't tell you it. So I can't. No. I don't want to spoil it because I don't think the previews hit yet. But it won't spoil anything in this one, but it'll kind of give you an idea where we're going for the next at least year with Grimm Fairy Tales.
Gotcha. I think it's super. What I like about your style of writing is it's very fast paced and it translates so well into comics. Like it's definitely everything I read by you, whether it's Bell, whether it's GFT, it's always a page turner for me.
Cool. Thank you.
And it leads it. Oh, you're from. No problem. You are welcome. I don't know. I have so much fun with these action comics. And like Pat, I feel like writes. He has a lot more dialogue. And he has his moments of action, and I do like that too. Like they're both just different. I'm not saying, either way. But it's definitely cool to see the different writers' styles throughout. And I feel like your style of writing works so well with our ongoing series. So I think it's really
thank you.
Cool.
No, I mean, each story kind of has its own feeling too. Like definitely with the Grimm stuff, it's got to be a little bit quicker because you got to fit a lot more in there, but somehow fit it in there, but also keep it going. So you don't want to pull it back. But like, I mean, no, I appreciate that. I sometimes you don't know when you write your own stuff, you don't notice like your own style. You're like, okay, cool. Like I'm just writing a story, but I could definitely. That's definitely cool. I'm glad it keeps you turning the pages.
Yeah. I have a question because, like, I'll be honest, I have not read every single thing of Zenescope ever.
Well, then
I'm behind
this until you finish.
So have the can I say it? The flying monkeys, have they appeared before? Because I
Yeah,
love them. They were always my favorite.
They were in like the original Oz series that we have. Like all
Okay.
the monkeys and the gorillas, all that. So you see them in Oz. And then they also appeared in Van Helsing 50, which is actually the last time we saw this Oz universe was Van Helsing 50. Joe wrote that one. And it was the first time we actually see the red gem that kind of brings Sky to different universes. So it was building off of that. So we haven't seen that world since it was invaded by vampires. And then this is us going back to that world, showing what happened to it after Zodiac left. Like he got pulled to that world, a bunch of vampires came, and then all of a sudden he get yanked out of it and he left them defenseless. And this is what happened to that world after that. But yeah, we've seen the flying monkeys, the Scarab Warriors, which are the purple guys. And the Emerald Guardsmen are the green guys. But yeah, I'm looking at it too. So I was just
cool. Yeah, I always love sometimes with GFT it's super subtle references to the original Grimm characters, and then sometimes it's just is that character, even more aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the ongoing series, it basically Grimm is like the spine of our comics.
Yeah,
and then everything else branches from Grimm. Like, so you gotta make sure that the Grimm is gonna have like things that appear and things that happen that are gonna hopefully affect some of the other stuff. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But Grimm's where we can kind of deal with like characters you haven't seen in a while, like building a universe building, like a world building. And that's kind of like, that's at least how I look at Grimm, is like it's world building and it helps build out the universe more, where like the character books with Robin Hood, Van Helsing, Belle, they're diving in more into that character's life and that character's part of the universe and kind of like growing that outwards. And sometimes the stuff that happens in theirs might affect some of the things in Grimm, but it's more like Grimm is making the waves and then everything else is riding it out. But I mean, that's kind of the plan when we bring things in. We try to introduce really brand new ideas in Grimm that kind of like make sense for the world, and then the rest of the characters kind of like adjust to that.
That's a really good way to visualize how like the ongoing connects to all of our one shots and just character spotlights. Like how you say like a spine. Thing. Yeah.
Well, that's the hardest thing too, is like because you got to make sure what you're doing is in Grimm. Because like in the end, they're going to be collected in graphic novels or paperbacks. But for right now, the people that are reading weekly and monthly, they need to make sure that they're not getting information in one story that didn't happen in another story yet. So it's fun, but it's also like crazy because you gotta somehow map it out to be like, okay, well, we're gonna have this character show up here, but we can't have them show up in this book until like a month later or whatever it is. Which I mean, it's fun, but it's definitely a challenge. But it's a good challenge.
Anything you want to tease? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah, all of the issues of everything coming up, they're really good. So read them, love them. I mean, like the teasing, I don't know, I can't really tease much. It's just there's a lot of stuff coming up. We have more of all the characters you hopefully love. Like Pat was touching on, like we're trying to give each character like their own kind of lane. So like Van Helsing doing the sci-fi and the mixed with the monsters now. Robin is dealing with her current arc with which is actually tying into, it's a lot of stuff tying into Robin, because we're actually leading up to, we'll have Robin Hood 100 out next year. So there's a lot of stuff building up there. Bell's
I didn't realize we're at 100.
Well, at the end of the year, we'll be at basically the 97th issue. So, we're going to figure out when we're going to release 100 and how it's going to come about. I mean, that's what we're going to be building towards coming up. But yeah, so we got a lot of cool things that I guess I can like Cthulhian type stuff. We're going to be touching on some of that stuff coming up. You'll see a little bit in the swimsuit. You'll see a lot of it in the Tales of Terror stuff coming up. And then we'll see where it goes from there. If it spreads throughout, we'll see. I'm trying to think what else we have. Like I have previews in front of me, so I'm trying to look at what we were just. Everything kind of blends together because like we're like in publishing, we're working like 2 or 3 months ahead of what you guys are sharing. So I don't want to share things that we can't yet. And then we'll be talking to Pat. Me and Dave will be talking to Pat probably within the next week for the next couple Van Helsing books where we're going with those. But yeah, right now we're kind of mapping out the rest of the year right now, like the end of the year stories, and kind of working out where we're going to go for 2023. So like that's kind of where we're at now, which is cool because I think we're going to meet next month. Me, David, Joe, and Ralph, and kind of start mapping out some more things. We have Man, Goat, and Bunny Man, Green Eggs and Bland coming out. That'll be out. I think it goes to print in 2 weeks. So it'll be out.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that soon.
Yeah, so it'll be on shelves July 6th. So it'll be out in like basically a little bit more than a month. So I had that first issue out of that. What else we have? Yeah, I mean, we got Sleeping Beauty coming up, which is coming around. Cool.
I've seen just like some of the artwork. I don't know anything besides that, and I am so excited. I know that.
Hope it turns out good. No, I mean, so yeah, right now we have the covers. We have some of the artwork in progress right now. That'll go to print the end of next month, and it'll come out at the end of July. So hopefully that's cool. I mean, hopefully it's accepted as a new. We have a new part of the Grimm universe with a new hero. And what else do we have? And then the end of this arc of Grimm will actually end in August. So it'll end in the annual, and then a week later we're going to release the first issue of the next arc of Grimm. So keep reading.
Well, thank you so much for coming on again. I'm very last minute with reminding people who's coming on NCW. I told Pat to come on last minute. Loki told you to come on last minute. So thank you again for always showing up.
Thanks for having me. And then I forgot I needed to say something for David only. And I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have some kind of inside thing, but I don't know. I was just gonna we love Supernatural. Maybe I was trying to figure something out, but I had to at least mention it. All right.
Well, cool. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you again to Dave Franchini, writer of our GFT and of course Belle. I was super excited to kind of get more of the entire layout of what's to come for the next year. I hope you guys found that interesting too, because I'm so excited. I know that Dave mentioned Sleeping Beauty, and again, I've only seen the artwork of her, but I am so excited to read about this character. It's cool to see like a brand new character, so I'm very excited to see her. I know she's like being promoted, I want to say like San Diego time, so sometime in the summer. Stay tuned. All very exciting updates in the world of Zenescope. Coming up, we have AwesomeCon, which is June 3rd through the 5th. I know I brought this up because I love the artwork so much, but we'll be in DC at booth 1909. I will be there. Jason will be there. Noah will be there. I'm not sure who else, but we'll all be there for a great time. We haven't done AwesomeCon that often, so definitely make sure if you are in the DC area to come by, especially if you are a VIP, get your swag bag, get your stickers, get everything. This weekend, leaving tomorrow, actually leaving tonight at 3 a.m., we're heading over to Fan Fusion. It's going to be me, Jason, Noah. We're super excited to be back on the West Coast. I miss it. I love the warm weather of the West Coast, so I'm super excited to be back and hopefully see some of you. I saw a few comments of people who are going, so I'm super excited. You know, Eric Concepcion is going, and so I'm super excited to meet him as well. If you don't watch already, me and Noah have Coffee with Casey and Noah. This week it is going to be on a Tuesday because of the Memorial Day holiday, but we're always 1 p.m. Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Time. We are continuing our graphic novel reading list. So this is what we've read throughout May. We read Bridgewater Triangle, Fly, and Jasmine last week, which I mentioned at the beginning of this episode. And next week, I am so excited. Probably my favorite character so far is Gretel. So I'm super excited to read her graphic novel. So catch that Tuesday of next week. I guess that would be May 31st. Hold on. Yeah, May 31st. Okay, I thought I got the dates wrong. I don't want to give very specific dates on our next virtual convention. Just because we are playing around with the dates and time, just seeing what works better with people's work schedules and stuff like that. But our next virtual con is in June. It is going to be our birthday themed virtual con. So super exciting. I always love the birthday covers. I posted a birthday cover for Pat Shand because I was so excited about his birthday. So we're going to be unveiling the next holiday edition, which is our birthday edition of our collectible series. So anything else? Movie clubs tonight. Total Recall. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The whole crew will be there. Very, very excited. This is definitely, to spoil it a little bit, is definitely the highest rated movie on my list that we've watched so far. So I definitely think you should come and hear our thoughts, because maybe we'll be over a 3-point score average. Subscriptions, we have our Joe's Secret Stash subscription. A lot of the VIPs have been commenting in the VIP group that if you are a collector of Zenescope, you have to get this. You get so much. You get all these fun items, and you always get a showcase and always a completely brand new collectible. So definitely check that out on our web store. We have our board game subscription, which is Zandyland this month. We have our Ketchum subscription, which is Karis Chew this month. And of course, our NCW cover of the month is a Igor Vitorino. This is not our showcase edition, it's our regular edition, which you can buy on their web store now. But if you are a watcher of NCW, you may win the weekly showcase edition. So who won the showcase edition? It is congrats, Kang. I don't know if I saw him in the comments earlier, but congratulations for winning last week's. And this week's stipulation is another special one. You just have to say hi to me at Phoenix Fan Fusion. You probably say hi to Noah or Jason first, but just ask about the NCW book and we'll give it to you. So super exciting. Hope to see you all there. Next week's release, I'm very excited about this, is Grimm Spotlight's Zodiac. I personally have not read a lot of Zodiac yet, so I'm super excited to have an intro to this character. I think that's everything. It's a bit of a long episode. I hope you guys had a great time with both our guests. I hope you had a great time just hearing our interviews, hearing our stories, seeing our covers. So yeah, I hope you had a great time. And I believe Amber will be on next week, but who knows? Maybe I'll be here. I'll see everybody. Bye.